lovelies, it's Murky Meg here. It's Sunday the 7th of March, and as you can well imagine, the news is heavily dominated right now with the impending airing of Harry and Meghan's Oprah Winfrey interview. I don't know why we're calling it Harry and Meghan's Oprah Winfrey interview, because quite frankly, it's the majority of it will be Meghan herself speaking to Oprah Winfrey, and then the true blood royal will be wheeled out at the very end, just to confirm exactly everything she says is true. There's been a lot of damaging stuff in the media, and it's not playing out very well. It now boils down to Meghan's mighty friends in Hollywood, or the ones that she'd hoped to be friends, sticking up against these allegations from the investigation of Buckingham Palace versus Buckingham Palace itself. Now, it's said there's a bit of discrepancy of whether or not the Queen has been given a copy of the interview itself. I'm led to believe she hasn't, and that the aides will stay up tonight, watch it and brief her over breakfast tomorrow morning. Now, yesterday CBS released yet another clip which Meghan herself is talking with Oprah Winfrey about how that Oprah asked for an interview just before or after she married Harry, and she implies that while taking this phone call with Oprah Winfrey, she was flanked by the firm's aides. And she said that she felt liberated to be able to speak to Oprah because she says that she now has full control over her interviews. The Telegraph report a different side of the story. Apparently, the aides have said she had full media control over interviews and had personally forged relationships not only with Oprah Winfrey, but other powerful industry figures, including Vogue editor Edward Enninful. In the 30-second clip, Meghan says it's really liberating to be able to have the right and the privilege in some ways to be able to say, yes, I'm ready to talk, to be able to make a choice on your own, and to be able to speak for yourself. So effectively she's saying she was gagged, basically. And the palace aides have snapped back saying she was far from gagged. It appears the Duchess was cultivating her own personal relationships with media figures like Oprah Winfrey while in constant consultation with the team of US advisors as well as palace PR staff. But this train keeps on moving over and over and closer and closer. There seems to be almost a shift in Hollywood at the moment, with celebrity after celebrity coming out in defence of Meghan Markle. Some of them haven't even met her. I mean, Chrissy What's-Her-Face did a whole terrible tweet about how it's hounding and she's going to miscarry and, oh, do you know what? Shush. Please, if you don't know anything about it, just shush. But the most interesting thing that's come about is Meghan's friend called Silver Tree. Now, she put out a tweet saying, "This is Meg, a real person, not a cover story. She's one of my very nearest and dearest. Like all her friends, I love her madly. She's the friend who insists on hearing the details of your life, your day, your kid's life, your kid's day, before hers. Always before hers." Now, she made a slight boo-boo. She posted a picture of Archie. Social media went wild, going, is it him? Is it not him? Is it him? Is it not him? But Schillings, their lawyers, clapped back. Schillings, the law firm, sent an email to a newspaper on behalf of the Duke and Duchess, warning them not to use a picture of Archie that appeared briefly in social media. Our clients are now the copyright owners of that photograph and do not consent to its publication. Two things strike me as odd with regards to that. One, they've just confirmed it was in fact Archie, when everybody was just speculating, going, no, surely she's not. That's such a private child. Meghan wouldn't certainly kind of agree to that. But no, they've confirmed it was him. And the second thing is that it is the photographer that has the copyright. That photo, we're able to see both Archie and Meghan. So she wasn't taking the photo. The photographer has copyright. But this notice from Schillings confirms that whoever took the photo has now given the copyright rights to Meghan herself. So there are a couple of things that we and the media are speculating of what will be raised during this interview. We know she's going to talk about racism within the UK and the UK media. I mean, the precedent was set from the very, very moment before anybody actually knew who the hell she was, when Harry got Buckingham Palace to send out that state saying, "Leave my girlfriend alone." The next thing we know that she's probably going to talk about is Diana. Because let's face it, they can't go 2 moments without speaking about Diana, because it's the card that gets used over and over and over again. They have nothing else to give, do they? Speaking of Diana, the news has broken that an executive at US TV firm behind the Sussexes' interview was in fact a producer of the controversial programme that screened images of Princess Diana in her final moments. That's right, Harry is working with a woman that published pictures of his mother in her final moments. Oh, Harry, what have you done? The next thing that's been speculated that she's going to talk about is family rifts. Now, this is what's been hitting the media today. It's believed she's going to talk about Kate. Whether or not she will talk about Kate and William, only time will tell from tonight. But do you think she's capable of attacking William and Kate? Or snide comments or inferring that there were deeper rifts than suggested? I don't think she'll have a pop at Charles or the Queen. I don't think she'd dare. But would she go for William and Kate in a very public manner? Of course, we know that mental health will also provide a big chunk, because Harry's done it on James Corden, didn't he? And how his mental health was suffering because of the toxicity of the media, and that he had to get his family out of the UK to save their lives. But we know that mental health will be raised because, again, it is the victim narrative that will be heavily leaned on, and mental health is a huge part of that. So that will be brought up within the interview. I believe that she will go into detail about the impact that the British press had on her own mental health and on Harry's too. And of course that leads us nicely into the final thing I think she'll talk about is the press itself. Harry and Meghan, it's no surprise and it comes as no shock that they absolutely loathe the British media, unless it's the ones that speak favourably of them, and even then at the moment are turning against them. I mean, one of the chosen few was the Telegraph, and they've released some very damaging articles over the past couple of days, one implying that she belittles staff so much that they couldn't work anymore. They describe one incident just after the engagement when Meghan hosted a shooting party. That's right, the woman that is opposed to hunting hosted a shooting party at Sandringham for Harry's friends. Apparently, she ordered personalised, embroidered blankets for each of the guests in red. When they arrived, they weren't the right shade of red for Meghan, and she went mental at her former personal assistant, who is alleged to have been left traumatised because of Meghan's unreasonable behaviour. Apparently, she also had a bit of a hissy fit about the engagement interview, which was, hailed as a triumph, to be perfectly honest, by some. It showed them supposedly deeply in love with each other, well connected, but it didn't meet with her approval. Apparently, she complained it hadn't gone well, that Michelle Hussein wasn't empathetic enough, wasn't warm enough, and it seems to be this sort of thing is coming out from the palace and aides are leaking, and it's believed that they have kind of had the nod to be able to speak out about this. Effectively, what had happened is that everybody had been gagged because the palace didn't want it to look negatively on Meghan, but unfortunately, because they've hot-tailed it to LA and now spilling their guts globally to all the world. But you know what really got my goat over the last couple of days? Apparently there's a host on the network ABC's breakfast show. Her name is Sunny Hostin. She has urged the Queen to say sorry to Meghan for not protecting her. And don't even get me started on Patrick J. Adams, who was her co-star in Suits. He has put a vitriol attack on Twitter, aiming squarely at the British media and the royal family in a tweet that says, well, this is just one of his tweets, by the way, he's done multiple. It's obscene that the royal family, whose newest member is currently growing inside of her, is promoting and amplifying against accusations of bullying against a woman who herself was basically forced to flee, spelt wrong, in the UK in order to protect her family and her own mental health. I give up. I really do. you know, all of these celebrities coming out of the woodwork and going, I support Meghan, I support Meghan, I support Meghan. It's almost like deja vu with Ellen, isn't it? They all came out and gone, I support Ellen, I support Ellen. Yeah, she turned out to be a monster too. What I will say, and I'll try and make this as clear as possible, you can be a nice friend and you can also be a horrible boss. That's possible because you're not going to be horrible to your nice wealthy friends, are you? But your subordinates, yes, you can be horrible to them, can't you? And that is exactly what's happening here. She's not going to be nice to her bigwig friends, is she? No, because, again, social climber of the decade. One thing that has come out of all of this is the papers are starting to dig around and talk. The incident in Australia where apparently it's been alleged that she threw hot scalding tea at a member of staff during her Australian tour is being looked into. And also Radar Online are claiming that her previous partner, who was Corey, was overlapped with Harry. Well, we all knew this. The timelines never really fitted. And with the whole moving of was it March? Was it July that they got together? There's one very interesting tweet that was done by Errol Weber. Now, he is the candidate for governor of California. He tweeted yesterday that Meghan Markle is a complete sellout. She stalked Harry's tailor, and that's how she really met him. No one set them up. Hashtag facts. This has never been released in the mainstream media. One thing I will say is that it's gonna get worse before it gets better. I know that the Queen and Kate are going to do their own broadcast, but I believe that's just going to focus on the Commonwealth. It's going to air at 5 o'clock today on the BBC. It's going to be interesting to see what actually that is going to be about. I think personally they will just stick to the Commonwealth and what it means, because it's a very important day, one of the most important ones in the Queen's diary of all the year. And I bet the taint of this Oprah Winfrey interview dropping just a few hours after the Queen addresses the nation, it's very symbolic, isn't it? So I would love to know your thoughts on all of this. What do you think she's going to say in the Oprah Winfrey interview? You know, there was a lot of pregnant pauses, dramatic stares. She knows how to work the camera, and that's just from 30 seconds of her speaking. So, you know, oh God, I'm staying up to watch it, basically. Hopefully, if I can stay up, I'm going to try and have a power nap this afternoon and stay up till 1 o'clock and watch it, do some notes, get a video down, and then edit it in the morning. So at least, hopefully, you guys will have it before the majority of the UK see it. Do you think her friends have a right to speak out, or do you think that they should get off their soapboxes and just get in their own lanes? What did you think about the snippet of the shooting party? That was a bit of a juicy one, wasn't it? I expect more and more will come out in the subsequent days as well about all of this, because aides are talking. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.